Okay, so your goal on number 19 on section 5.1 on these problems, you're always just trying to get the square by itself, whether it's x squared or if it's a parentheses squared. So I've got a square and it's by itself here. So this one's kind of nice because it's set up ready to go. So what I'm going to do with it is go ahead and square root both sides because I can't get to solve for s until I get rid of that square. It's kind of captured inside that square, so I got to get rid of the square. The opposite of squaring something is to square root it. And when I square root, I get the thing under the radical back. Because if I square it and I turn around and unsquare it, which is what square rooting is, then I just get the s minus 7 back. And I have this plus or minus. Remember, we have to put the plus or minus on it. And sometimes it's probably easier to remember to do that the minute that you square root. S minus 7 is plus or minus 28. Okay, so I need to solve for s. And in a minute, I'm going to move 7 to the other side. But before I do that, let me simplify the square root of 28, because that's, I think, what the problem is here for that I'm noticing. All right. 28, if I factored it, I could prime factor to write it in terms of its prime factors. I know it's 4 times 7. I could write 4 times 7 under the radical and go ahead and say the square root of 4 is 2. But I'm going to go ahead and do what we've done in class. So what we've done in class is this. We take it all the way down to the prime numbers. So I can replace it with 2 times 2 times 7. And I'm just going to keep up with what I have over here. I've got 2 2's. That's 4, isn't it? 2 times 2 is 4. The square root of 4 is 2. So I bring that on the outside. If you're using the little analogy of the square root dance, there's 2 2's. So they get to go to the square root dance. So they come out as one couple. All right, and then I've got a 7 underneath there. Now, I've simplified the radical, so let me go ahead now and solve for s. Let me add 7 to each side. Now, I cannot combine that 7 with the radical because you can only combine a radical. I could, like, if I had 2 squared root of 7 plus 3 squared root of 7, I could say that's 5 squared root of 7. But, so you can only really even add radicals together if they're the same exact thing underneath that square root sign. So this one, you have 2 answers. S is equal to, I'm just going to put the 7 first. 7 plus or minus 2 square roots of 7. So we really can't simplify that at all. That's as far as you can go with it. So remember to simplify your radical before you move the 7 over, and that'll make it a little easier to get your answer.